shocking secret bring down the house.
She's had enough of her time wasted.
This is juicy. Red flags all over the place. If I'm clear, I'm sending them both home.
Bad lesson number 2 that the Bachelorette teaches men is that women respect men who white knight. And in this specific example of white knighting, there's a lot of examples of white knighting. But in this specific example, we're going to talk about like men who tattle or gossip about other men. Those type of men are seen as weak little Betamon to women. They are seen as Betamon. Betamon. And in an environment like The Bachelorette, where you have 31 men all competing after one woman, and they're all cramped together, and then there's this little side chatter, and they're competing, you start to see this as these seasons go on, is these little gossip, emotional drama games from the men in the house because of the situation that they're put in now. That's what's going to happen. Again, that bleeds into teaching any young men that happen to watch this. Luckily, not a lot of men watch The Bachelorette. Maybe more would watch The Bachelor. I don't know. But you can see how that right there would give them the signal like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to watch out for my lady. I'm supposed to tell her if another guy was acting shady because I'm a good guy. I'm a respectable gentleman, and she'll love that when she sees that from me. There's drama in the house early. Bunch of Betamon fighting, getting dramatic.
Oh, something's come up. I really need to talk with you.
Will a shocking secret bring down the house?
She's had enough of her time wasted.
This is juicy. Red flags all over the place. If I'm clear, I'm sending them both home.
And then, it's what has all of Bachelor Nation on fire.
The path we're on right now, we can't continue.
I expected way more from the oldest Bachelorette.
Did everything shut down?
I don't know what that means. We did a new Bachelorette in here? What the just happened?
I'm the oldest Bachelorette, this 39 that's standing here that's single, because I didn't settle for men like that.
What is going on?
Wow. You guys will find out. She's 39, the oldest Bachelorette, because she didn't settle for men like that.
Regardless of if I'm 39.
Lucky you. So I gotta talk more about this, right? Because you see this all the time in these type of game show environments too. Is it's an environment that, like reality television, they want to see drama. So now again, right, all these men are sitting here acting like, you know, mean girls from high school eventually as the season's going on, tattling on each other, trying to white knight, trying to be like, well, I'm more respectable than this guy and all this stuff. And it gets gross towards, you know, as you get to know some of the guys more often, you see some of the drama in between scenes. But here's a little lesson. Here's an actual lesson. Okay, so the bad lesson is thinking that women respect men who white knight. And there was this guy in here, this 27-year-old, who, that drama we kind of saw, he called out one of the other guys, and he got Claire to come over, and he's like, I think that you should know that in my hometown, this guy was messaging girls from my hometown, and I don't think his heart's in the right place. He kind of seems like a player type thing. Now, a couple things to say here about this. First, I will say this. I did this growing up. I did this Betamon move. I always had bro code. I would never talk down my buddies. But if there were guys like like when I said in high school I was just a total Betamon, if there were the guys that I didn't know and I was just like, man, that guy's a jerk, I definitely, a few times would tattle to a girl about that. Like, I don't think his heart's in the right place. I think you deserve a lot better, right? Just hoping thinking, oh, she'll go, oh, I deserve better. Adam, I deserve you. Thank you for so much for telling me that. So I used to make those mistakes. That's why I can call guys out that make these same mistakes. I definitely used to make them. But let me tell you what that actually does. This is So backwards. But, all right. If you warn a woman that a guy is a player, if you like White Knight, you warn a woman that a guy's a player, what that does is that just builds his social proof, and she wants him even more. Think about this. Okay, remember, hypergamy is a woman wants the highest status man that she can attain to protect and provide for herself and her children past her future. We know that. We know that because of online dating apps and social media, and this girl, Claire, right, a 39-year-old hairdresser, has men from all ages flying in to see her. So we get people, right, we get women that then they are inundated with so many options that what is the best way for her to select and easily go, well, okay, I want to select the highest status men, right? If 100 guys are coming after her and she has to weed through all 100, it's a lot easier if she's like, I don't want to weed through all these guys I don't want, all these guys that can't handle me, you know? So in a sense, right, when a girl hears that a guy is good with women, a guy's a player, all that rings inside to her is in her mind, it's like in her hypergamy, it's like, okay, those other women did this selection for me. I don't even have to work. It's easy. I know he's a high-value man because all of these other women want him. So it's almost like a cheat code for the bad boy in that sense, for the player, because what the guy, the White Knight, thinks he's doing is he thinks he's ruining that guy's chances. But in reality, all it does is this girl goes, I have so many guys come after me that I think I'm better than. Well, now I hear this guy has so many women after him. She immediately is like, forget all these guys that are messaging me. What's this guy all about? Why do women want him? So then she gets more interested and more engaged in him. Logically, it makes sense for why a White Knight would be like, well, she shouldn't want a guy that's a player. So if I tell her, like rationally, logically, she should be like, no, that doesn't work. But it doesn't matter. Hypergamy is not, it doesn't matter in that sense. Now, a quick little story on this is, again, I went from one side of this to the other side. I went from, like I said earlier on, when I would tattle sometimes, and it never worked for me, not a single time. Tattling about other guys, thinking that the girl is going to be like, oh, you're such a good guy, Adam. Never, ever worked. And then I went on the other side of this. If I had a nickel for every time a girl has come up to me, and even though these are my buddies or friends, this happens throughout and different friend groups and all that stuff, is that I would have women that would tell me, let's say I brought them around my friend group, or I brought them around, some of my buddies for college or whatever, because I'm just a very ordinary guy. So all the ordinary guys around me, if they saw that I was a player or whatnot, rightfully so, I understand why they would do this, but they would be like, well, that's not fair. I'm going to tell her that Adam gets around. Adam's a player. And then she's going to be disgusted with Adam, and then maybe I have a chance. Again, I didn't hold this against my friends. I understood the game. I understand this type of stuff. But those same girls would come around to me, and they'd pull me aside sometime when we're out, and she'd be like, Adam, guess what so-and-so just told me? And I already knew, because this would happen time and time again, and I would understand this. And I used to do this when I was back in the day, so it wasn't like a surprise to me. So I'd be like, oh, what's that? And she'd be like, well, so-and-so told me that you're a player. And then she would give me like this like mischievous like little look or something like that. Like then it would just make her curious. It wasn't because I wouldn't lie about it. I wouldn't hide it. I'd just be like, hey, you know me. I'm just having fun or whatever. I'm enjoying hanging out with you or whatever. So what would happen is they would say that like, hey, I think you're a player. She would tell me. Girls would tell me. I know the guys in my life that would rat me out. I know this because girls would specifically tell me that. But then they'd give me this like little look, and then they'd be mischievous, and they'd want to like right then and there, let's start making out. Let's do something. That turns them on. So it literally is a backwards thing because of hypergamy. It builds social proof. And the next lesson, what I'm going to show you, does basically the opposite of that. Oh, actually, I want to read that meme, though. Captain Planet. Shout out to Captain Planet if you guys saw that show. Remember, kids, save the planet, not these hoes. Good old Captain Planet. I remember that. don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.